Hey friends, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be building my in real life dorm room in Bloxburg. I've been wanting to film this video for a while now, but I wanted to wait until after I moved out, and I am officially done with school and moved out, so I thought this would be the perfect time to film this video. But before we get started, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe and turn on those post notifications. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate all the support recently. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright guys, I'm just going to be building on this plot with a bunch of random stuff. But we're just going to do it over here. I'm going to try my best to do this all off of memory. I do have some reference pictures if I need it, but I am not lying when I say this dorm room is actually horrifically small. So, yeah. I also haven't figured out the scaling, so I'm kind of just winging it a little bit. Bloxburg doesn't do it justice. It really was so small, especially for two people. I did have a roommate, but I'm obviously not going to be doing her side because that's just weird. So yeah, half of this is going to be empty. That's because that was her side. Okay, so I went ahead and did all the basics. I added the floor, I colored the walls, I added the door and our two windows. I do need to add these closet doors really quick, so okay. Ew, this is so gross. If you couldn't tell, I hated my dorm, and this is giving me like flashbacks. I also changed the sizing. I made it a little bit smaller because the scaling in blocks was a little weird. So it did go all the way out here, but I went ahead and just reduced it to just this. But yeah, we had this ugly orangey, red, brown color floor and doors. The door was not this nice, by the way. It looked just like this, but it didn't have like the modern lines. And then we did have gray cinder block walls. So welcome to my prison. Yeah. But anyways, this was my side, so we're literally just going to be focusing over here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bed. There was literally no room then to do a loft bed, so that's what I had. It was like this, but without the desk underneath it, and it fit perfectly in the crevice between this wall and this wall. Yeah, it went from wall to wall, so that's how small it was. This is however many minutes of me complaining about how small my dorm room was. I might see if I can recreate this without using this bed, because it's not as realistic as I want it to be. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that real quick. I don't even know how to do this, what the heck. And it was pretty much all the way up to the ceiling, because we also had popcorn ceilings. So the amount of times I would bang my head against the popcorn ceiling and end up injuring myself. Have to be careful what I say on YouTube. It was not fun. Apparently one time my roommate told me that she was still awake and I was sleeping, and I just woke up randomly one night and like burst out of bed. I have no recollection of this. Like I do not remember this whatsoever. But she told me that I just kind of like jumped out of bed, like I was laying down and I popped upwards and I just banged my head against the ceiling, and she was like calling my name. Apparently I just went right back to sleep after just banging my head on the popcorn ceiling. Ooh, this is a tall ladder. Can you change the size of this? You can't? What the heck? Alright, so apparently I'm going to be making a lot of things out of basic shapes. Yes, my favorite, yes. Because I also have to make a little railing on this side. So I'll see you guys when I'm done with all of that. I'm gonna lose my mind. If people don't stop racing their cars down my street outside, I'm gonna, you're not cool to drive recklessly. Ew, this room is so ugly. Like, ugh. Guys, I don't like basic shapes. I can't use basic shapes. I'm not good at it. Okay, that's pretty accurate though. I'm building our weird ladders. We had these ladders. I might insert a picture if I can find one. They like started outwards and they had like this landing that led to like more of the steps that were closer to the bed. I don't know how to describe it. If I show a picture, you'll see. The amount of times I almost ate poop coming down those ladders because I would slip or miss a step or something. It was terrifying. This build is so blocky. It's looking like Minecraft. What the heck? What is going on? Hello? Let's get over. Alright, sure. There's my ladder, guys. Yes. Alright, now time for the somewhat fun part. We're gonna make my bed. My mattress was kind of tall because I did have, I had a mattress pad, like a foam mattress topper. So don't get me wrong, she was comfortable. Why is it doing that? Oh, it's because my thing is not straight. And I had dark gray sheets. So you couldn't see them anyways. I made my bed. That's as long as I can make it. What the heck? That's fine actually, because I usually had a blanket over here. Alright, and my comforter was like okay. The bar is sticking through, please, just, it was a light blue, like gingham like that. And then I had lots of different blankets, but my most recent one that I had for like most of the second semester was a Gilmore Girls one. And the background's green, so we're just gonna make it green like that. And now for pillows. I had this thing on the wall that was like a little like storage area, and it held like hand lotion, chapstick, and I put some of my hair ties there, and my glasses. I don't know what I can use to like replicate that. It like stuck on the wall. I don't know how to describe it, but okay. We're gonna use this. There's just like a little like storage thing that hung on my wall so that I could put stuff in it, so I wouldn't have to keep getting down because it's a pain in the butt. Let's do my pillows next. I had a really long body pillow, and when I made my bed, it would sit over here, and it was just white. This is so janky, guys. I swear my decorating on my dorm was not bad. It was actually kind of cute for the ugliness I was given. And then for my actual pillows, I had a like, you know, like those pillows, I don't know how to describe it, but they have like the rectangle, like those two arms. I had one of those. It was fluffy white. We're gonna make it. And I had it kind of sit like at an angle, and then we'll put the two little arms. Okay, let me cook. Ain't nobody want a pillow that looks like this. Fun fact, I didn't have a pillow when I moved into college, so I had to go buy one, and so I just went and bought a cheap one from Walmart, literally $6, and I actually love that pillow. It's a pillow I slept on every night. I even ended up getting a nicer one, and I still chose to sleep on the $6 one. And then I had like my nicer pillow that matched my comforter. I usually would have two stuffed animals on my bed. I love Harry Potter, if you guys didn't know, and I feel like I always had a Dobby stuffed animal. I also had fairy lights hanging from the walls, going back to like 2018 Bloxburg for a second. I started them up at the top, and then I had they're like curtains, so, and they gave off some comfy warm light because I hate big lights. So those are my little fairy lights. Let me add my popcorn ceilings. This was actually so accurate how close to the roof I was. Alright, now for the bottom part of my bed. So they have the furniture that you get when you move into the room, and so I just rearranged it into my own way, so I'm gonna build it how I rearranged it. Oh, but first I forgot, we had little medicine cabinets. Alright, here's my little medicine cabinet. It didn't have like a handle or anything. And then underneath I had a little hook. I had two actually. One that would hold my car keys and my tote bags, and the other one that I use for like Halloween decorations. But I'm just gonna put one because I literally only used the one. And it looked just like this. And then underneath I had a little cart. I'm literally not even gonna try to recreate. And we also do our big light. It was awful. I hated this thing. My roommate loved to keep it on, especially when I was sleeping. Okay, this is my cart, guys. Okay, we're gonna pretend. It has little wheels, and this is where I kept some cleaning supplies, my Nintendo Switch, and like tissues and flower vases and stuff. Just random little things. But that's my cart. Cinder blocks, yay! Okay, now for under my bed, I had a dresser. Literally looked like this. Came out a little bit more. And then over here it was a desk. I'm trying to see if they have anything that's like similar to it. It was a desk like this. It was the same color as the rest of the furniture. I had another little table that had my school stuff in it. It was like one drawer and then two like shelves. And then I had a rolly chair that they provided. It did not have all that on the back. It did not have a fancy back. It hurt. And then I had some pillows on it actually. I had a flower pillow on it. Literally looks exactly like this. I had a strawberry, but they don't have strawberry pillows, so we're gonna add this little heart. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and add some like decorations, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I have added some decorations. I literally did all of this off memory, but at the same time, like, it's not that much to remember because it was so tiny, but let me walk you through it real quick. So I had these two like hanging baskets on the side of my bed, so I just used those paper towel holders again. And yeah, so these little baskets I could like put my books in or random stuff that I had when I was in bed. And then I had my jewelry tree, this little jar that held like cotton balls and cotton rounds. And then this was actually for my rings, but it was like a little macaron, little ceramic dish, so I just used that and I made it pink. This drawer had like coloring stuff, so I like to color, so I had like coloring stuff, random like extra school supplies, electronics, so I have like my camera here. And then these were for my textbooks and school stuff. Under my desk there was like this shelf, and I had like this purple basket on it that had books, and then I would keep like random little cleaning supplies under there too. And then I had random pictures on my fairy lights that were clipped on, and then over here I had a big whiteboard calendar. Then I had a vase with my Lego flowers in it. I had a picture of my dog that passed away, a little purple cup with dry erase markers, a tape dispenser, and then whatever little trinket. I had a bunch of little trinkets in my room. Oh, and then I forgot. I love plants. I had a bunch in my room. I had this hanging one up here. If you guys don't know, I'm an environmental engineering major, so I love plants. I love all of that stuff. I had one on this cart, and then usually on my window, so I would put little plants on there that I would buy from our plant science club, that they would do like plant sales. So now we're gonna move on to this section. This section is pretty self-explanatory. We had our air conditioning unit against this wall. Each of us had our own fridge, and then we shared a microwave that was on top of my fridge. So I don't know, I'm gonna recreate that, but we'll see. This is actually what my fridge looked like. It was a little bit shorter, but it had a fridge and freezer compartment, and it literally sat like right here. Like, it was kind of annoying. It was mint green. That's my favorite color, our microwave that sat on top of it. It wasn't this tall, I promise. That was, and I had like a little like organizer thing that was under the microwave, but it like hung over my fridge, but I never used it. I would use this side of it and put like salt. My side didn't really have the air conditioning unit. It would like come to right here, and then on my windowsill is where I put like my little mini handheld vacuum and like a plant, like I said. But then otherwise, like behind it was the air conditioning unit. She had more of it, which is why her closet was actually smaller than mine a little bit. Like, but then we'd also put like our surge protectors on our windowsill. But yeah, I had a surge protector here. I zip tied it to my bed so it didn't look janky, and then I had a surge protector here. So I had a total of 3, because each of us only had 1.5 outlets. So we had an outlet up here on our bed on each side, and then we had half. There was one here, so we each got one. So we had to have a lot of surge protectors to plug in all of our stuff. I didn't make this because I don't really know how to do that, but I had like an over the door. It's almost like for shoes, but I used it for like an extra like pantry. I had like some food storage over my door, and then also I had my fridge actually sat on top of like a little cart that had like a drawer and some wheels, so I could like actually wheel around my fridge if I ever needed to move it. And then I had like more food storage kind of like underneath it, so I was pretty set up. Shout out to my mom for the hours of Amazon shopping she did. I just left for like 2 hours, but I'm pretty much decided that I'm not gonna do my closet, just because my closet was so intricate in just the way I had a bunch of like organization stuff and like a shelf with a bunch of random items. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess I'll give you guys the tour now. Welcome to my dorm. Ew, this is weird. I feel like I'm back. But here she is. It's pretty accurate, except for like obviously this was the cart, these were closer together, and then I had a little rolling storage cart underneath my fridge. So weird. And then I did have like a window, like kind of sill thing, so I had like a little shelf here, but I want to make sure I could still kind of fit the fridge in the room. And then yeah, my roommate's side was pretty much like the same, just opposite. Oh, I didn't realize that's supposed to be on the wall. Oopsies. Oh, I forgot. I did have like a bunch of random little like trinkets up here too, just like that I collected, because me and my friends liked opening little surprise toy things, so I put a bunch of them up there. But yeah. Also, fun fact, on the shelf that was down here, I forgot that I even had this down here, but it was a balloon dog that I got from the week before classes even started, and I had it down here for the entire year, like both semesters. And by the time I realized that I left it down there, it was literally like non-existent. Like, that thing was so deflated. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like this video and let me know if you guys want me to do more of these types of videos, and I definitely will. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.